Automakers and governments around the globe are poised to move electric vehicles in and gas and diesel vehicles out. The electric vehicle megatrend is unfolding, and insiders know the time to get in on nickel and cobalt, the two critical elements to electric car batteries, already in high demand, is now. Don't miss this chance to get in on the opportunity to invest in physical Class 1 nickel and cobalt before the mass market catches on. Go to www.silverbullion.com.sg/EV and participate in the electric vehicle revolution.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another market update, March 2020. First things first, if you are new to this channel or you have not already done so, please do subscribe. Go ahead and click on the bell to be notified on new updates, and do give us a thumbs up if you like what we do. We really do. Again, we really do appreciate your support. Taking a look at nickel and cobalt, two key metals for the batteries of electric cars, we see that nickel is down, as are most other commodities. Nickel is down to just over $11,000 per ton, while we see cobalt, it's not really doing any better, as cobalt is sitting at around $30,000 per ton. Both prices of metals were from the last week of March. Tough times for nickel and cobalt, tough times all across every industry, and the electric car industry is no different. Slow economies compounded with the virus have somewhat caused an outbreak of difficulty within the electric vehicle space.
From InsideEVs.com, BYD plug-in EV car sales dropped down by 80% in February 2020. BYD sold less than 3,000 plug-in electric cars in February, mostly all electric. February, the climax month of the coronavirus outbreak in China, severely hit the automotive market. BYD's car sales declined 80% year over year, both ICE and plug-ins. BYD's total plug-in car sales amounted to just 2,739. The 80% decrease is the biggest year-over-year drop so far, and hopefully things will finally start to improve. We don't know details, but such results may be extremely difficult to cope with financially. At its best of times, BYD was selling more than 10,000 units of a single electric car model and 37,000 plug-ins a month. BYD's sale decline year over year accelerated every month since July 2019, when incentives were partially cut. July through February each saw down months of 12%, 23%, 48%, 54%, 63%, 71%, 75%, and 80%.
Now, despite the sluggish sales for BYD, it's not all bad. See, BYD is making the most of what they have, and instead of trying to mask their low numbers, BYD is helping to mask the world.
Also from InsideEVs.com, BYD launches world's largest face mask manufacturing plant. BYD, one of the biggest EV manufacturers, produces millions of face masks to support the fight with the COVID-19 outbreak. BYD was not wasting time this year and quickly engaged one of its industrial parks in Shenzhen, China, to produce face masks and disinfectants to help stop the COVID-19 outbreak. The company and its 3,000 engineers within weeks developed the products and have built the production lines built from thousands of mostly in-house made parts. As a result, the facility is now the world's largest mass-produced face mask plant, with an output of 5 million masks and 300,000 bottles of disinfectants per day. On February 8th, newly built production lines in one of BYD's industrial parks in Shenzhen started to produce these critical supplies, with hundreds of staff working both day and night shifts, along with machines working around the clock. BYD was making 5 to 10 new mask-producing machines every day, which gradually increased the manufacturing capacity by 300,000 to 500,000 units per day. As the press release was from March 13th, 2020, now the total output is probably even higher. It seems that a single machine can deliver 60,000 masks per day at full swing. Hopefully, they will expand to a level to support other countries as the rest of the world is starting to fight with the coronavirus.
And doing their part to help crush corona, Tesla has shifted gears and has reinvented themselves by creating products such as ventilators and respirators to help keep us safe.
Again, from Inside EVs, Tesla donates N95 masks and PAPR helmets, much more coming soon. Once again, Tesla and Elon Musk have quickly followed through. Last week, the Trump administration said it would invoke the Defense Production Act, which was passed during the Korean War. Essentially, it allows the government to force manufacturers to produce needed supplies in an emergency. More recently, Trump gave Tesla, General Motors, and Ford the go-ahead to start producing. The plan was to ask businesses like automakers to begin producing ventilators and any other equipment that hospitals need. Since then, Tesla has already donated 50,000 3M N95 masks and multiple PAPR helmets. According to CEO Elon Musk, they have another 200,000 masks heading out to hospitals. It's important to be very clear here that Tesla did not make these masks, but instead quickly donated its own supply. Musk says Tesla and SpaceX are already working on ventilators as well. We didn't report on this earlier since there was really no way to prove the company had already moved forward. However, in order to understand how to make the ventilators correctly, Musk and company had a meeting with Medtronic. As you can see from the tweet below, Medtronic has verified that this meeting did in fact take place. Initially, Musk said it would take many weeks to make ventilators, and he was concerned that by the time Tesla and SpaceX can deliver, the ventilators may not be needed. However, now after meeting with Medtronic, he says Tesla is hoping to have 1,200 ventilators to distribute this week. We can only hope GM and Ford are also well underway with help as well.
Thank you, Tesla, and thank you, BYD, for shifting over your assembly lines to produce what is so desperately needed. And speaking of assembly lines and how the electric vehicle industry is going forward, Volvo is launching a battery assembly line.
From electric.co, Volvo launches Belgium battery assembly line for all-electric XC40 crossover. Volvo last week formally inaugurated a brand new EV battery assembly line at its Belgian manufacturing plant in Kent. That's where it will start building the XC40 Recharge, its first pure electric car, later this year. The battery assembly line, which is longer than a football field, is located where an employee parking lot used to exist. The line will use 9 stations to produce the XC40 EV 78 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The assembly will take place 24 hours a day over 3 work shifts. Last year, Volvo Cars signed long-term supply agreements with China, CATL, and LG Chem of South Korea. The agreements cover the supply of battery cells over the coming decade for Volvo and Polestar models, including the XC40 Recharge. Volvo is engineering the packs and related software, and it will handle assembly of the cells into packs. At the inauguration event, Volvo executives expressed confidence in its battery supply. Jonas Engstrom, Volvo Vice President for Vehicle Line Management, said, "We don't have any issues. Everything is running according to plan." In January, Volvo reported several thousands of firm orders for the all-electric XC40 Recharge soon after opening online ordering. U.S. consumers can now reserve the XC40 with a $1,000 refundable deposit on the company website. The first customer deliveries of the XC40 Recharge are scheduled to begin later this year. The price of the XC40 Recharge is expected to be around $55,000 before incentives. European media last week reported that the XC40 Recharge would sell for €62,000 in Germany. Some of the high-level specs for the Volvo XC40 Recharge are a 78 kilowatt-hour battery pack for a range of over 250 miles, dual motor 300 kilowatt powertrain, 11 kilowatt onboard charger, and 150 kilowatt DC fast charging capability, 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, and a top speed of 112 miles per hour.
So Volvo enters the electric vehicle space with their new XC40 Recharge, its first pure electric car. In contrast, another auto company, Volkswagen, has thrown in the towel on their green machine ambitions. Well, sort of.
From newsyahoo.com, VW ditches natural gas to focus on e-cars. Volkswagen said it will stop developing natural gas fueled cars as the German auto giant bets on electric engines in the battle to woo climate conscious drivers. The VW Group sold just 110,000 cars powered by compressed natural gas, or CNG, worldwide last year, not enough to justify further investment. VW's head of development, Frank Welch, told the Handelsblatt Financial Daily. Although production of existing models powered by the alternative energy won't be halted right away, there will be no successors to these cars. It just never really resonated with customers. The exit from CNG will allow VW to focus more strongly on zero emissions electric vehicles, which the company expects to go mainstream in the coming years. Like rival car makers, Volkswagen is investing billions in e-cars as the auto industry shifts to cleaner engines to comply with tougher emissions regulations. If we are serious about the mobility shift and environmental targets, then we must focus on battery-powered electric engines. Everything else is a waste of efforts. The 12-brand VW Group, which includes Porsche, Seat, Skoda, and Audi, has set itself the goal of selling 32 million electric and hybrid vehicles by 2029.
Volkswagen is now wholly focused on electric vehicles, and if you notice, the last two articles featured either batteries or cars made in Europe, and there's a reason for that. You see, as we often talk about, the US seems to be somewhat slow on moving on electric vehicles. Maybe it's the market. Maybe the market wants it. Maybe the market doesn't. However, what's surprising is that the gap between China and Europe is closing.
From electric.co, electric car production and sales in Europe to surpass US with China in sight. The center of gravity in the EV world is shifting to Europe. A report released last week from McKinsey, the consulting firm, pegs Germany to become the world market leader for electric cars by 2021, with more than 1.7 million electric vehicles produced. The writing on the wall can be seen in 2019 EV sales. In China, 2019 electric car sales increased by 3% to about 1.2 million. Meanwhile, in the US, the EV market in 2019 declined by about 10%. Perhaps overstated, the McKinsey report posits the idea that Germany could overtake China in EV production by next year. The market share of German car makers in electric production worldwide will rise from 18% last year to 29% in 2024. With over 1.7 million EVs produced, Germany could become the world market leader, slightly ahead of China as early as 2021. Meanwhile, BMW today announced that it is canceling plans to sell the iX3 electric SUV in the US. BMW joins Audi, Honda, Hyundai, Mercedes-Benz, and others that are directing EV production and sales to Europe, where stricter CO2 regulations require a faster rate of electrification. McKinsey says that demand in Europe has skyrocketed. Further dynamism is to be expected, namely due to the increasing range of products with which manufacturers want to reach the CO2 limit values. Analysts believe that Europe's EV market could rise to between about 5% and 7% in 2020, and it could hit double digits in 2021, at which point EV sales could eclipse 1 million units per year. The consulting firm also forecast EV battery production in Europe to increase at an annual growth rate of 47%. By 2025, China's battery production capacity will reach 610 gigawatt hours, followed by Europe at 290 gigawatt hours and the US at 150 gigawatt hours. McKinsey's study does not include potential production from Tesla's Gigafactory plan to open near Berlin. Tesla expects to have the Gigafactory up and running by mid-2021. Consider the numbers when Tesla ramps up European production at the site.
You know, March is a fairly quiet month with the virus circling the world over. But still, it's nice to know that these electric vehicle manufacturers are still fulfilling their ambitions, still shooting for their goals. You know, when we come out of this on the other end, and we will, I think you're going to see the world fire up production in all things, including and especially in the electric vehicle industry. The lower nickel price, the lower cobalt price that we're seeing at the moment should be an enticing investment, knowing that these two metals are going to be two of the key metals that should play a role in bringing industries back to life. Despite the virus, the industry is indeed alive and well. And that's it for this month's market update. I'll see you again. Take care, everyone.
Excited about the opportunities in the coming electric vehicle revolution and looking to invest in this electrification super cycle? Demand for battery metals like nickel and cobalt is expected to rise in tandem with the increase in demand for lithium-ion batteries in electric vehicles. You can now buy nickel and cobalt parcels with silver bullion and have a direct price exposure to both battery metals. You have the option to buy 2-ton nickel parcels or 250 kilogram cobalt drums. Every parcel will be fully insured against loss and guaranteed to be genuine by silver bullion. Selling your parcels to lock in profits is as simple as logging into your silver bullion account, selecting the parcels and clicking sell. Buy your nickel and cobalt parcels now at Silver Bullion's website www.silverbullion.com.sg/EV and participate in the electric vehicle revolution.
Interested but have questions? Email us at sales@silverbullion.com.sg or give us a call at +65 6100 3040.